Buenos dias. Hoy es lunes. It's the day after Mother's Day. I would say that, but I don't know how to say it in Spanish. So my friend here, John, has pointed out to me that yesterday, it's Mother's Day. I'm taping a little bit ahead. I hope you had a good Mother's Day. I miss my mom. She died at 104. God gave her a long life. She went through so much, 20-some years, almost 25 years of my dad being an alcoholic. So one story about my mother. I was in the, second grade? I don't know what grade I was in. And she was so mild, and she was just gorgeous looking and very refined. But she could get her point made quick. So I must have heard a bad word in school. And I was like in the second grade, third maybe. And I said, I was wiping dishes and in the little kitchen on Parkside Avenue in Brooklyn. And I said, Mom, what is this word? And I said the word. What does that mean? And the next thing I know, she was so quick, like Bruce Lee. She just went, whack! And I went down, and she said, that's what it means. And I went, all right. Vocabulary lesson is done. Now I know what that means. I'm not saying it again. Oh, so many good memories about my mom. I thank God for my mom. She hung in there and served the Lord no matter what. Now, 1 Samuel chapter 8. But when they said, give us a king to lead us, this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord. Let's just stop there. What lesson is there in that verse? So the people want to be like the other nations, and they're rejecting God. They don't want spiritual leadership. They want physical leadership that's impressive. That's like people who go to church, they want to show. Cannons, camels, fog machines. Just the presence of God and studying the Word. Come on, got no time for that. We got to get this thing together. See, that's the spirit of that always attacks the people of God. So they tell Samuel something that crushes him. And they say, we want a king like the other nations have. What a great lesson in this one verse. Did you pick it up? He could have said, why? You rejecting me? Why, I'm not good enough? You think I'm too old? I'm AARP? I can't keep up with you all? No, he didn't. Or what if he said, what? You know what this means, what you're doing? And he could have just reacted. It hurt him, but you know what he did? Let me tell you what he did. So he prayed to the Lord. And the Lord's answering him. I'm going to tell him how God looks at that scene and that decision. When things go south and go bad, many times we react instead of going to God in prayer. Oh, what needless pain we bear, all because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. When you don't know what to do, when you're hurt, instead of reacting or thinking it through, why not get you and I, oh, God, help me to do this more. Get in God's presence. Lord, you just heard what she said or he said. You know, God, that insult or that I was ignored and it hurts. But before I say anything or make a decision, making decisions without praying, bad formula. He went to God. He held the thing before God. God, they're rejecting me. They said I'm over the hill. What do I do, God? What do you think about this, God? Oh, wouldn't that save us? Today, why don't you do that? Instead of just reaction. Instead of just using your logic and intelligence. There's a time for logic and intelligence, but how about hearing from the Lord? And it says here, and the Lord told him, listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they've rejected, but they have rejected me as their king. Boy, that changed Samuel's outlook on it. Instead of taking it personally, God said to him, hey, Samuel, it's not you they're rejecting. In fact, it's me. Because you were representing me as a prophet, as a kind of judge, as one who spoke the word of God. They don't want that. They want to be like the other nations. But Samuel, don't take it personal. They're rejecting me. And you know, when you know someone is rejecting God, it doesn't hurt so much that they're rejecting you because you're in good company. They're rejecting God. That's why Jesus said, go out into the towns 2 by 2 and preach the gospel. And if they reject it and don't want to hear it, shake the dust off your feet and move on. Move on. Because they're not really rejecting you and your preaching. They're rejecting the message I sent you to give. And that's very helpful. Otherwise, you take everything personally, especially if you're a preacher. So they have rejected me, God said, not you. And now God is going to say, so as they've done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods, so they are doing to you. Now listen to them, but warn them solemnly and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights. This is a scenario of something really bad. When God gives you what you want because you're so persistent, and it's not the best thing for you. I mean, here's an example of it. God said to them, what? You reject me? You want a human king because you think it's better than having me invisibly rule over you? Fine, I'm going to give you what you want. Oh, boy, how many times has God saved you and I from big bad trouble by not giving us what we wanted? Because sometimes what we want and what we think is best is totally horrible. And later on we see it, oh, did God preserve me? I thought I wanted that. Oh my goodness. Isn't God a good God? So patient. So full of loving kindness. So let's not ask for let's not ask him for things without combining our prayer with this, but not my will, but thy will be done. Oh, when you ask according to the will of God, it's going to be really good. Praise Jesus. See you tomorrow.